I need you to watch and listen to this with an open mind.
Sharia, Islamic law, is a broad system derived mainly from the Qur'an and the traditions of Muhammad, Hadith. Muslim countries interpret and apply these laws to Muslims and non-Muslims living in their country. However, critics in many Western societies argue that some classical Sharia rulings conflict with modern ideas of democracy, human rights, gender equality, and freedom of belief. The following are some examples of Sharia laws. 1. Punishment for apostasy, leaving Islam. In traditional Sharia jurisprudence, leaving Islam, apostasy, is considered a serious crime. Some classical rulings prescribe death for apostasy. This is based partly on hadith attributed to Muhammad that say, whoever changes his religion, kill him. Sahih al-Bukhari 6922. Why critics say it conflicts with Western values? Western democracies emphasize freedom of religion, meaning people can change or abandon their faith without punishment. Killing someone for changing beliefs contradicts modern human rights principles. 2. Unequal rights for women. Certain interpretations of the Quran give men authority over women. Quran chapter 4 verse 34 states that men are in charge of women and allows disciplinary measures against disobedient wives. Men are in charge of women, and those wives from whom you fear rebellion, admonish them, abandon them in bed, and strike them. They encourage physical and domestic abuse on women. Why critics object? Western legal systems generally promote gender equality. Critics argue that allowing male authority or physical discipline over wives contradicts equality and protections against domestic violence. 3. Polygamy for men, but not women. Sharia law allows a Muslim man to marry up to 4 wives. Quran chapter 4 verse 3 permits multiple wives if the husband treats them fairly. Why critics object? Western marriage law is based on monogamy and equal rights between partners. Allowing men multiple wives while women cannot have multiple husbands is seen as unequal. 4. Corporal punishments, hudud laws. Some classical Sharia punishments include amputation for theft, Quran chapter 5 verse 38, lashing for adultery, Quran chapter 24 verse 2, Quran chapter 5 verse 38. As for the thief, male or female, cut off their hands as punishment for what they committed. Stoning for adultery in some traditional interpretations. Why critics object? Western legal systems generally view physical mutilation or corporal punishment as cruel and unusual punishment, which violates human rights standards. 5. Blasphemy laws. In Sharia-based systems, insulting Islam, the Quran, or Muhammad can carry severe penalties, sometimes death. Why critics object? Western democracies emphasize freedom of speech, including the right to criticize religions. 6. Testimony of women in court. In certain financial cases, the Quran chapter 2 verse 282 suggests that 2 female witnesses equal 1 male witness. Why critics object? Western civilization systems generally require equal credibility of witnesses regardless of gender. 7. Inequality between Muslims and non-Muslims. Classical Sharia historically imposed special taxes like jizya on non-Muslims and gave them different legal status. Why critics object? Western democracies emphasize equal citizenship regardless of religion. Fighting non-Muslims. Quran chapter 9 verse 29. Fight those who do not believe in Allah until they pay the jizya with willing submission and feel themselves subdued. Fighting until Islam prevails. Quran chapter 8 verse 39. Fight them until there is no more persecution and religion is entirely for Allah. They are taught to hate Christians and every other religion, and they can't coexist with others. How do one live and survive in the midst of people with these kind of mindset? Now, tell me, how are these laws fair and democratic? How is this a religion of peace and fairness when it preaches hate, inequality, physical abuse, and death? They have over 30 Sharia courts in the United Kingdom today, and they are agitating for more. Soon, they will agitate for Sharia laws to replace the British legal system. In Texas, the Muslims are agitating for Sharia courts. They are trying to bring these immoral laws into the states, and we must not allow them. If you want Sharia laws, go and stay in Iran or go back to your country. The Democrats are okay with these illegalities because they have more Muslims among them and wants their votes, so they are willing to compromise morality. We must stand up and fight for our country. Jake Lang is speaking up. Charlie Kirk, who was vocal about morality, was shot. May his gentle soul rest in peace. The society needs cleansing. The mind of these extremists is made up and are ready to corrupt the mind of others, especially the kids. Together we can put an end to this. God is love, and anyone who can't love their neighbor as themselves have no place in the Western world.